During the 19th century, the world was changing, and Eastern and Western cultures were having a bit of a culture clash. Um, the musical Pacific Overtures kind of touches upon that with themes of cultural clash, modernization, and imperialism. Today, we are going to be diving a little more into the true history behind the musical Pacific Overture. Pacific Overture is a musical that explores the meeting of the cultures of Japan and the Western world in the 19th century. It explores themes of cultural clash, modernization, and imperialism. This musical has been praised not only for its innovative structure, but also how it is able to complex historical events and themes through a mix of music and theater. However, many people don't realize that the musical is actually based on a true story. Much like The King and I, Pacific Overtures explores the clash between Japan's more traditional culture and how the Western world tried to modernize the Japanese by bringing in more of a Western influence. Kayama represents the traditional Japanese samurai class, while Manjiro represents the modernization and the adaptation of more Western ideals. The musical also touches on the United States, opening up to Japan for more Western trade, which is called the Meiji Registration, and the resulting conflict and changes in Japanese society. Pacific Overture is a unique venture as it takes a blend of traditional Japanese theatrical forms and music, such as kabuki and no, in order to explore Japan's history and cultural identity. It's created by Sodenheim and Weidman and premiered on Broadway in 1976. Today, Pacific Overture remains a compelling exploration of the complex meeting between Japan and the West. It challenges us to reflect on the impact of cultural exchange and also the preservation of traditional cultures in the face of modernization. For over 200 years, Japan was isolated from the rest of the world. During this time, the country was ruled by a feudal system and maintained strict policies on isolation. However, in the mid-19th century, Japan was finally forced to open its ports to the Western world. This was a result of pressure from none other than the great United States and some other Western powers who wanted to establish trade relations with Japan, because why not? Japan's opening to the West was a momentous event, and it led to significant cultural and political changes in the country. The Japanese government began to implement more modern ideals into society, and even in industrialism, which brought Japan a little more into the modern era. However, this period was, of course, not without conflict. A lot of Western and new ideas that came in clashed with a lot of more traditional Japanese values, and not everybody liked that. This is a tension that is explored in Pacific Overture through the characters of Kayama and Manjiro. The two of them represent the struggle between tradition and modernization. As Japan modernized, it also began to push its influence beyond its own borders. The country engaged in a series of imperialistic wars, which culminated and evolved into World War II. Pacific Overtures touches a little on these themes of imperialism and national identity through a character named Reciter, who represents the collective voice of Japan. The Reciter narrates the events of the musical as a reminder of Japan's complex history and the challenges it has faced in the modern era. Pacific Over is a poignant and thought-provoking musical capturing the essence of Japan's opening up to the Western world. It explores cultural and political shift and changes that occurred during this period and raises some very important questions about modernization, imperialism, and national identity. The musical has been praised for its innovative structure and its ability to address those complex historical events. Pacific Overture has been considered more than just a musical, but also a powerful and emotional tribute to the Japanese's rich and complex history. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Don't forget, if you have any questions or have anything you'd like to add, leave in the comment section below. You can also subscribe if you enjoy this, and also for more content. Don't forget to follow me on my various social media pages to keep up with me outside of YouTube. And of course, that's it. So, yeah, bye.